it's okay. And then now for the actual line of the mouth, I'm going to leave that for the moment. That's really quite a fine line. But I'll do a similar treatment on this head, and I'll check back in with you in just a second. Well, as you can see, I've added some darker shadows to the right-hand head as well. I'm going to go back to this one here. I'm going to take some of the alizarin crimson and mix that in with that orangey brown that I had. I don't know how well you can see that, that I had earlier. Pick up some of the white, and I'm going to continue to mix some white in, just to get a sort of pale pinkish, I guess it's a pale off pink really. Let's give that a go. And it's not too bad. And then there isn't really anywhere else I can, justifiably use that color, but I'm going to put a little bit in on the ears. And then just a touch on this animal as well. And now I'm going to switch to a round brush, and we'll actually no, I'm not. What I'm going to do next is add some really bright highlights to the head of this animal. So I'm continuing with my filbert brush, but I've now switched to titanium white, which is more opaque than the tinting white that I've been using to date. So we'll begin by adding a highlight line which starts off fairly narrow along the top of this ear and then becomes a little broader and triangular at the top of the ear there. Then we'll leave a little bit of a gap, and we'll put a bit of a highlight on the top of the head. And this is also an opportunity for me to just reshape the top of the head a little bit. And also it allows me to basically remove some of that blue outline that I had there before. So then we come down over here, and I can add just a couple of wispy bits coming off, and another little highlight line over the top of the ear. And then there's a much narrower highlight on the bottom of the ear here. And during my painting of the fleece, or maybe it was always wrong, the line of the head actually comes down here a little more. And then kind of bows out a little bit. So even at this relatively late stage in proceedings, I can make corrections to my drawing or correct things that got lost in the painting process. So again, I'm looking at shapes really. So as I work my way around the head, I'm kind of squinting at my reference and just seeing, well, where can I add? Where are the brightest areas and what shape are those brightest areas? So that's not too bad. I'm going to put a lick of white on the just at the front of the foreleg there as well, which I just realized I made too wide, so we'll remove part of that with my thumb. So sticking with the filbert, I've mixed up a mixture of the burnt umber, the crimson and the cobalt blue. And this has given me a nice dark colour. And I'm going to use that to just put in some even darker shadows. But I'm going to be careful to not just put in a solid block of shadow. So I want a sort of patchwork of randomly directed marks so that some of that underlying work I've done shows through, so that even within the darkest depths of this painting, when it comes to the fleece, there's a texture and a multitude of colour. Subtle though it may be, it'll still be there.